อีกด้านหนึ่งค่ะสำหรับการทำงานผลักดันประเด็นต่างๆที่เกี่ยวข้องกับผู้หญิงก็มีองค์กรระดับโลกที่ผลักดันเรื่องนี้อยู่นะคะหนึ่งในนั้นก็คือ UN Women เมื่อก่อนหน้านี้ก็ได้มีรองผู้อำนวยการบริหารของ UN Women เดินทางมาที่ประเทศไทยคุณจอห์น เฮนดราก็ได้พูดถึงศักยภาพต่างๆของผู้หญิงไทยนะคะว่าโดดเด่นมากในเรื่องเศรษฐกิจแต่ว่าที่น่าเป็นห่วงก็คือบทบาทของผู้หญิงไทยกับการมีส่วนร่วมทางการเมืองคุณจอห์น เฮนดราให้สัมภาษณ์กับคุณมณีนาฏ อ่อนพันนาค่ะ
John, could you please explain to us how is the importance of the International Women's Days and what are you going to celebrate for the Women's Days on 2014?
Today is International Women's Day. The theme is equality for women is progress for all. So the theme really is in terms of addressing women's rights and making women more equal means that there's much more potential for prosperity for everyone. In terms of women's economic empowerment can add so much more to the economy, also in terms of political participation and leadership. So the theme really is we need to really fight and push for equality for women, and when we do, it's very good for all of us, for the economy, for development, and for also the realization of human rights for all women and girls.
What are challenges and achievements in the implementation of the development goal for women and girls and challenges post-year 2015?
It's really important some of these root causes that hold back women are much more addressed. And I think particularly three areas. One is any violence against women and girls. Second was ensuring greater access to resources and capabilities for women. So in terms of education and knowledge, quality health care, good jobs, but also ensuring sexual and reproductive health and rights. And also in terms of care work and really redistributing care work from women to everything, more for men to be involved. And finally, in terms of ensuring much greater levels of women's participation and leadership in politics, in private sector and in the household.
อีกหนึ่งประเด็นที่น่าเป็นห่วงอย่างมากสำหรับผู้หญิงในภูมิภาคเอเชียและแปซิฟิกก็คือการล่วงละเมิดทางเพศนะคะพบว่ามีสัดส่วนของผู้หญิงจำนวนมากที่ตกเป็นเหยื่อของความรุนแรงทางเพศค่ะ
So how do you evaluate the women's situation in Asia Pacific after year 2015?
I think I think the situation in Asia Pacific is progressing, but I would say there's three issues to really focus on. One is to continue to look at issues of any violence against women and girls. And in Thailand, for example, the level of violence against women and girls is about 44%. And globally around the world, 1 in 3 women face some kind of sexual or physical violence. So if you think about it, 1 in 3 women in the world, that's 1.3 billion. So that's huge, a huge amount. So in Asia Pacific, you need to focus much more on any violence against women and girls. Secondly, I think there needs to be higher levels of women in political leadership. In Thailand here, it's about 14% in parliament, about 16% in Senate. In terms of the government and civil service, about 17%. So there's a lot of evidence that shows that once women are at least 30%, you have much more effective governance and much better policies. So I think Thailand and many other countries in Asia Pacific need to focus on higher levels of women's leadership and engagement. And finally on economic empowerment, that because there's been such impressive economic growth here, but still there are a lot of women in very vulnerable employment in terms of factory work and without social protection, no pensions. So you need to continue to focus on further empowering women economically so that they become much more engaged in higher value added industries. So I think those three things, if Thailand and the rest of Asia and Pacific can focus on, then it'll be a very bright future.
Right now you are in Bangkok, in Thailand now. Would you like to send any message to the audience to urge them support the gender equality?
Well, certainly I'd just like to say a happy International Women's Day, of course, to all the women in Thailand. But I'd like to say a happy International Women's Day to all the men in Thailand, because it's very important the role of men and boys. And I think to really fight violence against women and girls and to see that Thai women can contribute much more to the economy and much more to life here, both in terms of leadership, it's important that men and boys look at some of these gender stereotyping can be very negative and look at changing some of these cultural and social norms. So International Women's Day is not only for all the women of Thailand, it's also for all the men to do more about pushing for gender equality and women's rights.